Hey everybody, and welcome on back to Building with Whip. Today I am super excited to get ourselves started today, working on our village here. Thank you all so much for the support in the last episode. It seems like everybody is really excited to be over here in the village, and I am super pumped to continue on with this one. If you're seeing a few textures looking different, I've been messing around with the texture pack quite a bit. For example, all of the log textures are now updated to Joppa's new ones, and I added a slight bit of shading onto the outside to darken those up a bit. I'm working on a few other tweaks and things, like updating our wood planks textures as well. So let me get those all done before I send them on over to you guys. But in the meantime, I've been working on cleaning up the outside of their village and everything outside of the houses so that we can easily transform this stuff. Basically, removing everything that is not a villager workstation. For example, all of these freaking hay bales that are everywhere. I absolutely love them. They are so great for detailing, great for having on hand because they're a pain in the butt to get a bunch of them. But, for example, they were filling up everywhere. And as we discovered at the end of the last episode, they caused all of our villagers to get stuck down in the pit right over here with the rest of the cows. They're all free now. I think our iron golem, no, he's out of there as well, which is great, but the hay bales are freaking everywhere. For today's episode, however, I was wandering through the village, wandering through all the different houses, trading with my villagers here, getting some fresh pumpkin pie, and I found this. The good old smithing table. I absolutely love the top texture of this block. Cannot wait to see what the uses of it is coming here moving forwards. But I was thinking today we could transform this house right here away from being a smithing table and nothing else in it and kind of boring structure into a full-on blacksmith. Smith with a grindstone. We'll get some of our smithing tables in there like that guy. Get a few anvils and get some of those blast furnaces, I believe they're called, so we can get a full service thing in there, get a few of our villagers transform over to weaponsmith, armorers, all of the above, and get all those great things in here. Got a brand new shepherd over here, looking for some white wool, for some emeralds. Not a great trade, buddy. Beyond that, I did want to do a bit more training with the villagers today, getting a few more things out of them. For example, this guy has a lot of stuff that I would absolutely love to have, and down here, I was thinking we're going to go ahead and tear down these three structures because I want to terraform this entire area out, smooth it out, and bring this up to being even with the rest of the land. So basically smoothing it out from there, coming around to here, and then bringing all of the dirt up along this area to just help ourselves out a bit further here. Now, what is this house over here? I don't think I've ever really seen this guy before. What do we have in here? Oh, got a blast furnace and some bricks. That's kind of nice. We'll definitely keep that in mind when we're moving things around. All right, so I think what I'm going to do here is get a general idea in mind of what I want to be seeing for the general layout of this thing. My goal is to keep the same house structure layout that we currently have of that L shape, and then maybe move it back a bit, build a forge out in this area, and we'll see what we can come up with. All right, welcome on back. It has been quite a few hours since the last time we talked, and I have been doing work like, that's an axe to break that. That's interesting. I've been doing quite a bit of work outside of this world, and I made 2 new paintings, which I am super freaking pumped about, and we'll be sharing those here soon. I plan on using them in today's build to show them off a little bit, but I think first up I need to get this house torn down here so that we can figure out what the heck this base area is going to look like. I think for now I'm going to just tear out all of the wood part, and we can figure out what this cobblestone frame is down on the base, and maybe use that and build off of it from there. One thing I saw online recently that was very cool is the fact that Optifine is finally in its own pre-release states for 1.14.0. The developer ended up starting and working on 1.14 itself to begin with, instead of starting with 1.14.1. So they've been working on finishing up their current project, and then they announced that they're going to have this out very soon for the rest of the builds and the rest of everything like that, which I am super pumped for. So we got this base platform area in here. I do want to push it back a bit further, so I'm thinking, I know this is bringing a block farther forward, but I'm thinking we go ahead and do something right like this here, and then off to the side, I was thinking we could bring in some bricks. So if we bring in some brick right here, how many blocks does that give us? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 is totally fine with me. And then what I wanted to do is create that little tiny channel for smithing and everything that we do typically in the rest of these builds, and that's a bad idea to jump down there. So basically what we can do here is we can take this handy dandy redstone torch that we have, plop him down there, place a cobblestone block, and then place our iron trap door against that one, and it'll actually fill in that gap. Then in here, it looks like we have a small bit of a channel that we can cut everything through, or have all of this molten magma filling everything in there, which is going to be just awesome. And then for this, we can build our forge design off of here. Getting the rest of our brick stuff out, we can start creating this a bit more to make sure this is villager proof, and make sure these very, very intelligent villagers that we are now living with do not burn themselves on anything. We can start to just fill in this whole area right here. So this way they can't actually get into the dang thing, which is going to be good. That's a very important part. Make sure the villagers cannot burn themselves on anything. Then we can come on up here and do this. And I'm thinking we go with bam, bam right here and bring ourselves up one more. And then I did want to add in a small campfire block right up there, but we don't have any on us right now. I'm going to have to go get some of those along with a few other blocks so we can make the top of that a bit more interesting looking. And what I was thinking over here at the front, sorry if it's framey, again, Optifine real close. Hopefully that'll come sooner rather than later. I was thinking we could do something like these guys, and just as an ornate entrance here, do that, and then for now, let's just throw a few cobblestone slabs down. Then, sorry, we're sitting in the inventory here a bunch. We can get our oak logs and our terracotta bits out here, and let's go with you right here. And then we'll bring white terracotta right like this. I know this is putting a wood block really close to the, quote, fire that we have going on, but I think it'll be okay. And then we can kind of do bam, bam, and bam, and have the house almost link around the back of this thing. So I'm thinking we could do something like this. We'll fill that in just so it's mob proof. And then do like a bit right here. And then that brings us out to that point. I actually think this might work out for us pretty well here. I will say these villager sounds are driving me absolutely insane. So with that, let's see if we can come up with a few cool ideas for this. What I was thinking, and what I've added in so far, is I added in this bit of a railing going around here so that we can have all those ones connected up there. And then what I was thinking of is we could actually create a small bit of an awning here with using some oak slabs and basically taking these up like this and then bringing it all the way across. I thought that might be a cool way to somewhat cover up this area here and not make it too crazy or too ambitious or anything like that. I don't want to cover the entire thing because obviously it's a smith, it's very hot, so I figured covering it halfway would be a good in-between for all of that. And then we can come up here and just for now we will just dot that stuff in there because I don't think I can get that final one back there. Then that comes to the other objects that we need to be adding in. For example, a blast furnace. We need to have a blast furnace in here so we can get that job going for one of our villagers. And then we also need our smithing table because we took that out of this place here. And I was figuring we could throw in 2 smithing tables because why the heck not? Then, of course, a blacksmith cannot be complete without a grindstone of sorts up here, working its magic, doing all that great stuff. And I was figuring, because this area is probably pretty rubbly and pretty broken up, we could come in here and add in quite a few pieces of andesite down into the base to help mix this one up. I was thinking some gravel as well could work in here. I don't have any quite on me right now, but I was thinking that could be good. And then we can use our andesite slabs because these things exist. And why not? That's kind of the plan. Why the heck not use it? And this right here gives us a great idea of what everything can look like. Then the way we can make this forge feel even more alive is by coming down here, taking that guy out, plopping a campfire down there, and placing our magma block back. And it looks like that half of the forge is bringing up some fiery smoke out of it. Doesn't get too laggy because we don't have 2 campfires right next to each other. Then that allows us to continue that same exact thing coming up here to the top to doing what I've recently found is probably one of my favorite roof designs of sorts that we can make, where we basically come around all the way like this, bringing these spruce slabs or spruce trapdoors in here, which I feel like has become almost the new standard of how all this stuff works. And that's totally okay with me because I think it looks super freaking awesome. Then we do a campfire right there, and we do a stone wall and stone wall on top of it. And so we're still getting that smoke out of the same side of this furnace area, so it looks like it's continuing directly up there. And I think that looks absolutely awesome. Now what I want to do, though, is I need to figure out what the heck we're doing for the rest of this place. So I was thinking we could probably keep the same cobblestone base going around the entire thing. And I don't want to make this one too wide because I feel like we have that forge design there. So I was thinking almost we could just bring this directly back right along here. And then do bam, and then bring this kind of all the way around just to help detail it out. And then do like this. And that's actually not where that one goes. All right, it is time to show off what I had been working on before we came back to here together. Check these out. You will have to let me know what you think of them. Obviously, we're talking about this little painting with the papers on it right there. And then we have another painting that has been turned into blacksmith tools, taking the same tools that we actually find on our smithing table down here. So you can see there, we got the hammer on that one, the calipers, and then those little prod thingies are basically all in here. And then I created another smaller hammer base off of that. So those are all just hanging on some bars and beams over there. Then we got this list of papers here where you can maybe have some tools, some stuff you're working on it. I tried making them very variable. Like this could be used in multiple places. This could be used in multiple type of weapon shops or things like that. Carpentry shops, you could still have those in there. Anyways, let me know down in the comments below what y'all think about those ones. I think they're super sweet, so let me know if you all like them. Then what I've been working on since then is getting our house here in place. I have brought in the entire roof section and basically caught ourselves up to where we have that guy over there with a bit less detail. I am still working on making this one look a lot more interesting. This feels very beginning Minecraft first starter house type build to me right now, and I'm not too satisfied with it. I think there's a lot that we can do to it. I think there's a lot that we can do to mix this one up, make it a heck of a lot better for ourselves, and like turning that one out right there, for example. There's just so much that we can add here. Yeah, because I feel like not much is going on at all. So I was almost thinking we could bring in some oak buttons and add a bit of like a more of a tutory feel to it. Bring in some oak buttons along the corners of these like this to help kind of round it out and add a bit more depth to the whole thing. But I'm afraid that's going to look very, very tiled. I actually do kind of like that look that we're giving off here. As you can see, we also have a bunch of jungle leaves on my hotbar right now because I've been thinking about it, and I've been really, really thinking that jungle leaves are probably going to be the leaf block that we use in this area a bunch. I was thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? Jungle leaves are a really cool green leafy block that wouldn't be found here normally. So it's something that we can use easily as a bush without having to worry about it too much. And jungle leaves aren't too bad to harvest now. So I was thinking we could come in here and make this thing look stupidly overgrown as well along the sides, and just kind of add in that bushy feeling that we'd went with on our original build over there, bringing the jungle leaves all over the place, but not really taking too much of that manicured look that we had on that second floor where they're underneath every single window with a flower pot on it and something growing out of it. So I figured this would be kind of a cool way to start ourselves off here, maybe get some life going on with this whole thing and place one right there, and then we could do something like this. I thought that would be kind of a good way to bring this in with the rest of the build. I think it's mostly using just this white terracotta here as our building block that looks so freaking clean that it's really messing with me. But I think for now, because we have all of this being very, very basic, there's not a whole lot going on here. And then we have this crazy, hyper detailed, very, very cool looking forge area. And I think that's probably something that we need to strive and figure out how we can bring this type of an atmosphere here into the rest of the build. But I think it's probably time that I go ahead and think on that for a little bit. We'll work on this towards the end of, for the next part of the episode, is get rid of these three things and terraform this area out. So I'm gonna chop all those down. I'll be right back with you as we can figure out what we're gonna be doing for the grassy slope here. We have a major problem right now. Pillagers just came in here out of nowhere. They've killed like 3 or 4 of our villagers. And oh my gosh, I wish I had somebody here to teach me how to build a bunch of walls around the village to keep it safe. That would have been useful if we did that first here, wasn't it? I was working on just peacefully tearing down the villagers' houses, relocating them to a much more safe area. Now all these guys want to do is completely kill us. And I'm trying to get them to follow me out of here, but they appear to be bugging. And I'm really just hoping they haven't killed everybody. Okay, so we got some guys alive over there. That's good. Let's make sure we get the pillagers not towards them. And I don't have any buckets on me, so even if I do kill these guys, I gotta figure out a way so we can get a bucket real fast so that we don't have to worry about dealing with a raid or anything like that, because we are not equipped right now to handle a raid. Oh my gosh, this is probably the worst thing that could have happened to us. They're right outside the door. And can we get them to follow us? Please? Please? Why is it nothing's moving? Oh my gosh, there's so many of them. Why are there so many? This is not okay. Not okay at all. Worst day ever. Alright, we got one of them down. The rest of them are still over here. I'm trying to get that guy with the banner out here, the Vindicator. If I can just get him to follow me, and we can get all the way out here, because I think we have some cows on this side, so I can kill him out over here, get rid of that debuff, and we should be able to kill the others, because I believe only this one here spawns ourselves with, oh no, we're this 1.14 lags so much. Why? We're so screwed. All right, let's go find a cow. This is bad. It's even getting to be nighttime. This is not what we want at all. Oh man, this is going to be completely ruining everything. That guy is over there. Both of them are over here. They're just chilling. They're like, you know what? We claim this village. This is now a pillager village. A pillage? So if these guys are spawning around here, does that mean we have an outpost nearby? Also, I think I'm just going to go for it and kill them because there's nobody here to give that debuff, so we should be good. All right, so we're good there. We got rid of all the pillagers. That was a headache. After recovering from the raid, I figured we would get straight into a time lapse here of filling in this small valley area. I'm really excited with how this one turned out. We're basically smoothing everything out in here, still keeping that kind of general shape of having that dip down point at the center of it, really using that Minecraft terrain that we originally had. But anyways, on top of that, I want to give you all a heads up here saying that just like this video, sorry, it's going to be a few days late. It's going to be coming out on Thursday. Obviously, you already have seen this by now. I have been having a bunch of technical difficulties recently between Minecraft recording slowly, my operating system and everything kind of resetting on me every once in a while. And so I think I'm probably going to be in the market here for a new computer sooner than I was expecting to, which I'm okay with. I'm actually really excited about building a new one. So we'll see about what's moving forward with that one. If anybody has any suggestions on deals or things to look at moving forwards right now, be sure to let me know down in the comments below. I have my eyes out on everything you possibly could imagine right now. We got all of that stuff down here placed in, as y'all saw through the time lapse, was able to work through that. I was working on about 5 to 6 frames per second doing that whole thing. So hopefully the time lapse turned out pretty cool because wow, that was a pain in the butt and pretty much hell. So moving away from hell, what I was thinking here is we could make this upper roof area here a bit more interesting, break it up a lot more by just adding in a few extra bits of detail to this whole thing, because right now, let's be honest, it looked pretty bad. It looked real lame. It really did not look like the style that I'm going for here. Sorry if there's lagging for you all over there watching everything here. I am trying to see what I can do to improve this without losing video quality too much on my own side, and we want to get one of our glass panes in here, fill that guy on top, and we don't have any of those. Let's make a quick crafting table. Bam. And it could be partially that we are just literally have campfires right there, which is so dumb. And I feel like my computer is strong enough to be able to do this. Like we got a GTX 1070 and an i7 4790K, which is a 4 gigahertz CPU. This should be totally fine with running all of this. Anyways, what I was thinking was something small like that, just hanging off of there, and then doing 2 smaller ones off of this side. I wanted to include those bits of the wooden accents to it with the logs and everything. So we're going 3 blocks off of that side, and then we're 3 blocks off of this side. So literally here, if we just come and turn these guys out like this, and then we can turn this one out here as well. Then do a glass pane right there, glass pane right there. And here in the base, we can just set up a log right under there. Then what I was thinking on this one, just to again make things a bit more interesting throughout here, was adding in a grass block or 2 or 3 along the base of these. And then what we can do is basically this, bam, bam, and build everything out with some trapdoors on the front. All right, I feel something like that actually is going to really help us out here. I think that's going to be something a lot better for this whole end atmosphere we were going with. And oh my gosh, it's still lagging like crazy. I swear I'm going to stop talking about that, but I'm really sorry, everybody, that if this video quality is not the best, I'm doing what I can on my side, so please bear with me on this one. And please also let me know what it looks like on the viewer side, because I'm curious if this is just my computer for some reason. It looks like frames are still sticking at 100, but they're randomly dropping and chunking down to like not much at all. I think from this side, our roof still is a little interesting, and I want to work on it a bit more, but I think overall the structure is starting to get those extra detail bits that I was thinking and wanting to see in here. Something else that I was pondering with was bringing in a few ladders to see if we can get some extra detail out of ladders on there, because the main goal I have right now is disrupting that white terracotta. The white terracotta on this build just does not work with me right now. I think it's very, very plain and very boring. I do like the white terracotta in general. I just think we're not using it as well as we can here. So maybe even if we just added a few guys up there like that to show it's a little etched in a bit more, maybe on our far ends with our big sides right here, because these are the ones that are giving me most of the problems, where it's just so much white terracotta space. If we came into these upper areas right where you see that white terracotta strip up there, I was thinking that we could potentially come up here, and can we jump on top of you? We can, and then jump up here. Perfect. And get rid of these 3 guys, and then do bam, bam, and something like that, just to bring a bit of a different color at the top. Ooh, I like that a lot. I think that's a great idea for what we can do with this one. I have brought in an interior. Yes, I know. We did one. It's an interior. I had a lot of fun coming in here, just messing around with things, trying to squeeze in the workstations and make it look more natural and all that good stuff. I think that's going to be my secret for getting interiors in a lot of these ones, is trying to squeeze in workstations, because we have our smoker right here. We got another compost bin for another farmer. We've got, and that's it. I thought I'd squeeze more in here. Well, we got 2 more in here, but back in this area, we've got 4 beds for 4 more villagers, and we got this cool doorway and all that good stuff. We got a seating area, and everything is looking just freaking dandy, and I love these notes. I'm putting them everywhere. And now what I think I want to do is try and relocate all of our villagers back into this central area, see if we can't get them some jobs to apply to them, and then see what we can trade with them for today. I've spent a long while gathering up all of the villagers I could around our village. Well, at least I thought there'd be a lot of them. We only have these 2 left. Everybody else was killed in the pillager raid that came wandering through our village. So that's a bit of a problem. I've been trading with them a bit, hoping that we can get some love hearts going here and see if we can't get them to trade some stuff between the 2 of them and maybe make some lovely babies here. Let's get this guy leveled up there above the novice as well. And so both of them are at apprentice now, which is great because we'll have 2 farmers. That hopefully means they can actually tend to these crops and trade with each other a bit more. There were some love hearts moving around a second ago, though. Maybe you guys can do it again? No? Alright. Well, anyways, you guys can stare longingly into each other's eyes. Beyond that, I think next episode, we're going to come in here and work on the walls. I really, really think we need to start being able to defend this village, seeing as how easily a bunch of pillagers just spawned in here, wandered through, and killed everything. So I think next episode is going to be a lot about defending the village, keeping out the patrols, seeing what we can do to help ourselves that way. And with that comes the comment or question of the day. This one's coming in from Danny Wolf Perro, and they are saying, "Hey Whip, I built walls around my village to keep the pillagers out, but now the mobs spawning inside the walls are the real problem. Are you going to do any village lighting and decorating guides? I don't want to just spam torches everywhere." Let me know if anybody else is interested in that type of stuff. I have a few ideas in mind that I use personally to help limit the number of mobs spawning in different places and things like that, and I'm happy to help expand on that and see where we can go to help with that moving forwards. I definitely need to do that inside the world here anyways, so we might be doing it anyways, but let me know what you all think on that. Any ideas that you have, how we can light up things, like there's the old hide a torch or glowstone or sea lantern or something below a carpet, and we got a little baby. Look at that. We got our first baby in the village. That is a great note to end this episode on, seeing how many of these guys we lost. Don't worry, buddy. It's totally safe here. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching today's episode. Please hit that like button if you are enjoying the new season 2 of our survival world here, and I will catch you on the flip side.